My kind of nonsense. Your kind of charm.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? Back with another vlog. Here we were booked to collect some assets for a bakery to use for their social media. Got my A7 III rigged up to shoot vertical with 2 side handles. I also used the stand for my DJI Ronin so I wouldn't have to worry about setting it down anywhere, so that was nice. Also brought my A6300 for some stills so I wouldn't have to keep adjusting camera settings. Makes the job easier if you have 2 cameras. I generally like to build my cameras before the shoot, but I didn't have time to do my stills camera this time. Basically that's just, hooking up any kind of accessories to it and just making sure there's a full battery and a formatted SD card in the cameras. Here I was still waiting for everyone to prep their stations, so was just killing time. Wanted to grab some stills of the different drinks they offered. The client wanted video primarily, but it's always nice to provide a little bit more if you can, especially if it doesn't take too much effort. I know they will be using these as social media posts, so it'll be nice to have a mix of videos and photos. In my opinion, thinking like this will give you a lot more returning clients because they know that you're looking out for their business as well. Once everyone was ready, I headed back to the kitchen to capture as many and all the action shots I could. For these types of shoots, you're just trying to capture a lot of different angles and a lot of different actions. Since I'm not editing these ad videos, you just have to make sure that you're providing enough assets to the editor to make complete videos. You want to work with the client beforehand and get a list going on like which or what task each product requires. For these types of shoots, there will be less times where you can ask if they can repeat the action, so you want to mentally check off steps as you go. I also like to narrow down top 5 to 10 products they want to capture in whole. This way I can make sure the client is happy when they open up their folder. One of the hardest things during these shoots is being attentive to things that might make the client look bad. For instance, shooting in the kitchen, you got to make sure that things are organized and clean in the frame. Just taking action shots aren't good enough. People get grossed out easily when it comes to food, so just something to keep in mind. Here I'm collecting my thoughts, checking off my mental checklists and observing to see if there's anyone who's doing something I didn't catch yet. By the way, if you are planning on doing the same types of vlogs and you want to use a 360 camera, it is amazing. You're able to pan and tilt when you need to and then export as a flat video. Super dope. The only thing I would say though is, get comfortable with the camera and wear stitches. You want to ensure that whatever you're doing, you're on either side of the camera and not on the sides, because that's where it's going to stitch. As you can see, my face is kind of faded out and it's because I'm right at the stitch line. Been shooting things handheld a lot more often since I got the A7 III, and let me tell you, I am a fan. I do have a gimbal, but probably will end up selling it and replacing it with a glide cam. After owning a few different gimbals the last few years, I realized that a gimbal isn't really fluid in my workflow. I'd rather get a glide cam with a Manfrotto quick release plate and easily transfer my tripod to the glide cam than have motors. Again, as you can see, just grabbing different angles of the same action, stocking up the library. The store was slowing down, so I asked one of the employees to make some items for me so I could capture the steps. In this environment, you'll want to make sure you're working at others' convenience, so paying attention to the foot traffic could really help you set aside time to get certain things checked off. This part was really challenging for me, trying to guess where the sandwich was going to be or where she was going to reach next. Honestly, since I was shooting in 4K, I should have just shot a little bit wider and just cropped and keyframed in post. But since I wasn't thinking of that at the time, I just did my best to keep the sandwich in frame without any jarring movements. Also, if anyone is wondering, I am using a HLG picture profile. Probably would never shoot S-Log2 in 8-bit since it really isn't beneficial unless the conditions are controlled and perfect. I also like the colors coming out of the A7 III, so I'm not too picky. Alright, here's the end of the session. Just going around capturing whatever shots I could finish off the hour with. Yeah, that's it. Done with this video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Later, guys.